Let my co-hosts introduce themselves real quick. Linda, tell us a little bit about you. Where you from?
So my name is Linda Lowe. I am from here, the DMV, PG County, baby, born and raised. I may not sound like it no more, but I'm still from this area.
Right,
We
right.
say like area.
Area. That's how we say it.
Okay. So I gotta, tap back into my teenage days when
Area.
when people knew I was from PG County. Now
Right.
they be like, "Where you from?
Uh-huh.
You speak like you from here." I be like, "Listen, I'm from PG County. Stop playing." with me."
Right, right.
So I do a lot with dating and relationships. I have my own radio show.
Awesome.
The Linda D. Lowe Show, Girl Talk, and we
Uh-huh.
talk about relationships, dating, parenting, spirituality. I also wrote a book called Dating Smart: 9 Tips to Transform Your Crazy Dating Life.
Yeah.
And so,
Did you bring it?
I left it in the car. I meant to bring it inside,
Okay.
but I left it in the car.
We'll make sure you let people know where they can find it.
You can find it on Amazon.
Okay.
And follow me. Come to my website, www.lindadlow.com. I do speaking. I'm a life coach for women.
Hey.
Listen, I'm a substitute teacher. I'm a little bit of everything.
Okay. That's
Just
right.
do it all, huh? and you're single.
And I'm single.
And she's single, y'all.
Hey.
No, ain't no y'all. No.
Ain't no
I know.
Don't be putting it out there like this.
Look, I just turned the camera away. And she's single, y'all.
Hey.
Uh-oh. I'm sure you're blowing it. I put my dibs in already. Tell
You
me
put your
what's
dibs
going
in
on.
already?
Put my dibs in.
Okay, we're doing hookups now. Okay, so
I ain't
Chris,
mad at you.
Chris, tell us a little bit about you, baby.
Chris, but everybody know me as Chop. I'm a local DJ around the area. DJ Chop the Butcher. Do your weddings and christenings, bar mitzvahs, all of your big events. Please call DJ Chop the Butcher.
I know that's right.
Man, he's only dude got a better voice than me. Originally from Southeast DC, but living in Fairmont Heights, Maryland right now. Just here, there, and everywhere.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Can I ask you a question, Sharon?
Uh-huh.
You went to Kimball Elementary? Who, me? Yeah. No. Which one did you go to? Elementary, Garfield. Garfield. You don't know. Garfield. You look like that dude that with the scoop. No, man, go ahead. Go ahead.
He know everybody. He know everybody. So, but yeah. So, and I'm Sherry. Y'all know me. And yeah, I'm from PG County. Yeah, I grew up in Glen Arden. So,
What school
I'm
you go
here.
to?
Oh, I went to school outside of the district. But yeah. So
I'll forgive you.
I'll say. In other words, she's from Maryland. She's a
I was in
Maryland
Largo.
Babble.
I graduated from Largo. Okay. Sometimes, I didn't used to claim that for a while, but
Really?
no.
I always claim my Fairmont Heights. I graduated from Fairmont Heights.
Really?
The Heights.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
He looked at me like, wait a minute, hold on. What?
Nothing
Nothing
on
about the
Fairmont
Heights.
Heights. Nothing on the Heights.
Okay.
The Heights is very interesting. Very
I
interesting.
know I don't look like I came from there, but
The Heights.
hey now.
Ain't nothing wrong with the
I
Heights.
never forget where I come from.
Oh, hey, and you should. And you should.
So we want to touch on a lot of issues, a lot of different things about dating in the DMV. We want to touch on dating in the workplace. We want to touch on dating women and women with children or men with children. Some people say, I don't want to date men with children and I don't want to date women with children. We're going to talk about dating long distance, dating, what does your potential mate look like? Is a credit score a big issue? I got asked that on Facebook. To make sure I brought up the credit issue. And then I put on Facebook a couple days ago, I think some of you guys might remember, it was a picture of 3 guys, and it said, who do you choose? This guy here, 2 kids, 2 baby mamas, own place, a car, and a good job. And then it had the second guy, had 5 kids, 3 baby mamas, own business, but he had a felony. And then the next guy was 0 kids, own car, unemployed, and he smokes. And I just threw this fourth one on in there for free, y'all. 0 kids, no car, no permanent job, and lives with his mama. And then he might have 3 kids, 2 baby mamas, no permanent job.
Dang, you just added some extras on.
Because let me tell you, that's what the choices are nowadays. That's exactly what the pickings.
Well,
The pickings. That's not my fault. Damn sure ain't mine.
You like, I ain't the baby mama.
You know,
I
you coming up and young and just making bad decisions and just,
I mean, that is totally a
I'm
whole lot
saying
of bad
it's
decisions.
life, but it ends up with 3 kids and 3 baby mamas. After the first one, don't you think something should have clicked? Like,
Totally.
let's not make this a habit.
I don't know. Some people don't mature though.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't.
Yeah.
So
Some people might say I haven't, but
But you
I
know
know
what?
I'm not gonna have 3 or 4 kids by
I
3 or
never
4 different women.
understood a woman that if a guy has 3 or 4 kids, 3 or 4 baby mamas. I've never understood how do you continue to pursue the relationship. That's what I couldn't understand.
From what a
There's no way in
woman's
the
point of
world.
view.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
Well, it's easy because now not only he has 3 kids, the
You got
woman has. So it weighs the option. It's pretty
Right.
much
that's the money
even.
line.
It's an even
That's
playing
true.
field.
That's true. So she got 3, 4 kids.
Yeah, so it's like your kids play with my kids, we
Right,
don't whatever.
right.
So it's a win-win situation.
That's terrible.
But here's the question: what do you women do when you find a man that doesn't have any kids, but you do? Then what?
I don't mind a man that has kids. I just don't want him to have
No, don't
3,
have
4,
kids.
5.
And I don't mind a guy with no kids.
But you have kids.
I have one.
But do you think it might be kind of hard for him? Okay, he doesn't have to deal with
Right, I'm sure to be an
feedings
adjustment.
and going or
Little league and stuff.
yeah, little stuff like that.
My
Where
daughter is just about grown. Ain't nobody got to feed her.
okay, but see that's grown. But you have some people out here
With the
where
babies,
yeah, they
So
little
if he-
preteens or not even preteens, but toddlers or whatever.
Yeah, and if he wants to date her, then he will have to learn that adjustment. He will have
Yeah.
to become adjusted to their lifestyle.
Yes,
But that's
some,
totally up to him, though. He
Yeah.
has to make
that could be a big
decision.
Right.
adjustment.
It
That
is
could
a
be a
big
big
it could.
adjustment.
It's definitely a big
It
adjustment.
could.
He might be the type of dude where, last minute, I feel like going to catch the show. Hey, you want to go catch it?
Now you can't do last minute stuff when you have kids and you have to plan, and that's something that he has to be
And that's
respectful of.
something
And
you gotta
even
say.
in vice versa, if she has no children but he does, and he's taking care of those kids, whether full time, part time, whatever, he has. She would have to understand
Yeah.
that planning is important. And of course, someone who does not have children definitely lives different from someone who does.
Totally.
Yeah, but
It's a compromise you have to be willing to go to handle. So if you're not willing to understand and compromise with a single parent, obviously, then you shouldn't deal with them.
Right, don't date them.
You
But,
shouldn't deal with them.
but even if the man does have kids, 9 times out of 10, the kids is going to be with the mother anyway. But you do have a lot of men now that's that actually that's taking full time. And I applaud them. That's a good thing. But like I said, majority of them, even if the man still has kids, they're going to be with the mom anyway, so they can plan whatever they want accordingly to whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
So.
So it's about adjusting to that person's lifestyle. If that person is interested in being with them, then they know that they would have to do the necessary work in order to adjust to that new lifestyle.
Right.
And they're coming together because you're no longer, whether if you have a child, if that person has a child or not, you're still no longer single when you enter into a relationship. So you still have to adjust to one another.
Yes, it is an adjustment. It is.
It is.
But you still have some people out there that, might be my age and don't have any kids, but you know what I'm saying? And
Well, I
Let's
don't know.
be
I don't
real.
know.
My
I
best
don't know
friend
what your
doesn't
age
have
is.
any.
I'm not telling you my
I
age.
mean, but you just said you got people my age. I don't know what your age is.
Okay, I'll tell you this. I graduated
Oh.
high school in '93.
Okay.
Okay? But let's just,
That's not a bad thing. That's an awesome thing. Like
Unless you
stay
stayed
out.
back 6 times.
and that definitely didn't happen. That definitely didn't happen. But I'm trying to get back around. But it's you took me off on
Oh,
Sunday.
yeah,
That
fine.
person doesn't have kids.
Right, that pretty much like I'm not gonna lie, I don't have any kids.
So you
I
don't
don't have any, but I'm like, I would still like to find a woman
So would you
my age
wanna
with no
date-
kids.
And
Would
that's
you
cool.
really?
And I wouldn't.
But that's impossible.
No, I wouldn't say
My
that's
best friend doesn't
impossible.
That's
have any
impossible.
kids, and she's
I would
That's
no,
impossible.
I wouldn't say that's
That's
impossible. There are women out there who
There are some.
who do not have kids. If there are men out there who don't have kids, I'm
There
sure there are
definitely
women
women.
who don't have kids as well.
Where are they?
Well, that's
They're
why
out
we're
there.
doing the show because we really want to find
Ladies,
out.
if you're out there and you don't have any kids and you graduated in '93, let's
Everybody
That's
has
Chris.
kids.
Chris, that's.
let us know.
And if you're over 40
I have
and
a
you don't have
sister.
any kids, call in.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear
She
from you.
graduated in 90, I think.
Now here's the $1 million
And she doesn't
question.
have kids.
Why is she single?
Why are you single?
Uh-oh. There it is.
A situation. It's just a situation right now. That's all.
Okay.
That's all.
Now I can't answer for her, but I just know she's single.
But why?
She's never been married, so I
Never been married.
Right. So I can't answer that.
I'm
So
single.
if you
I've
had-
never been married.
Okay, so why you say why?
I'm single because I choose to be single.
But it had to be something that put you in that.
I think bad relationships. I think bad relationships. And, you know, just to be honest, and I know he probably watches, but, you know, my children's father, we ended,
Right.
wasn't growing as fast as I needed him to. That ended. And then, you know, I dated a couple other guys here and there, but I knew that they just didn't have it for me. They weren't.
So what is
There.
it? What is the everybody? I understand everybody has their it that they're looking for.
I'm looking for potential to grow. That's what I'm looking for. Potential to grow and wanting more out of life than just the everyday okie doke. Like, are you thinking outside of the box? Or are you just comfortable with the everyday?
In other words, a
This is-
mundane.
This is it. This is all I have, or this is all I can do,
Or
this,
woe is me.
woe
That's what it
is
sound
me. I can't do this, or I want to do this, and I can't do that. I don't want to. That's not what I want to hear.
So
like,
you don't
I
want
don't
a
want to.
routine.
No, I have routine. Routine is awesome. Like, I have routine, but I have goals and I meet them, and I
Okay,
have
okay,
things
okay.
that I want to do,
And you wanna be
and I
progressive.
meet them, and I want to be
That's what it
exactly. I don't want to stay in that same. Next year, I don't want to be where I am right now, and that means physically, mentally, emotionally. That means academically, everything. I don't want to
You
be
wanna
in
grow.
this same
I feel you.
place. So next year, when I come on the show, when I celebrate my 1 year in February, I don't want to be at an hour or an hour and 30 minutes. I want to be at 4. You see what I'm saying?
got
Like,
you.
I want an audience. I have
You
on
wanna
my
grow.
vision board, I want an audience of 100,000. You see what I'm saying? I don't want to continue to just have an audience of what I can fit inside of E-Life Media.
So-
And if a man can't show me growth, that's what he wants in his life as well. Not even necessarily the same what I'm doing.
Right. But just him
It's just
So
growing
both
in
of
his
y'all
area.
just moving
Yeah.
together and
I don't have any
whatever
time
you want
for
to do as far as
No time for it.
just okay. Well, pretty much, I guess encouraging each other to motivate each other to
each other.
pretty much
If
get
he,
to a
if he don't want
higher.
to be motivated, then I don't have time.
Okay.
And that's
I don't have
that's
time.
essential for life. We have to grow. If we're not growing, then we die. If something is not growing, it's dying.
It's dying.
To some people, but some people, happiness. It's all about what your happiness is. Happiness to one person is totally different to what happiness is to another
Well, I'm
person.
not talking about happiness. I'm talking about growing in
I'm
life.
talking about growth.
Yeah, grow.
Not
Period.
necessarily
That's just like a
happiness.
child. We see how they grow. Even people, we see how we grow. We see how, once we have passed the adolescent stage, the brain is still developing and growing.
Yeah.
So we are constantly growing as physically as people, and we need to be constantly growing in other areas as well.
I agree.
So you sort of, just listening to what you all are saying, I'm going to throw a couple of divots in there, and basically you're describing what I would call investment and evolution. So part of what Sherry is reflecting is she wants to be around a man who is investing in his progress. So, and you can't progress unless you make an investment of time and resources into something and have some kind of targets. Like she said, she has her storyboard, her vision board, etc. All right. A lot of folks, especially black folks, do not know, especially black men, after athletics, we don't know how to invest in anything else. We've never been trained to do it. So a lot of times we have to be introduced, or we have to somehow figure out how to invest our time and resources into something that can grow. Now, growth, for example, if somebody has a 9-to-5 job with the federal government and they stay in that job for 40 years, to some people they can call that growth, to other people they might call that stagnant. All depends on how you define it.
Mm-hmm.
And in terms of evolution, like you're talking about with children, everybody evolves. They either evolve to the left, to the right, up and down or whatever. But everybody evolves, and then the question becomes, does the investment meet the evolution? And if it does, then what you have is an opportunity to sit next to the kind of person that has the potential that you're looking for. Very, very difficult nowadays with today's black man. And you all understand that part. So when we start talking about dating, you really, when you start talking about black men, really talking about what kind of black men are out there, and how do they fit into y'all schemes?
And that's a legitimate question. Like, how do the men that are out there and that are single kind of fit into where I am, where you are? Where do they fit in?
Well, that in itself is a reversal, because 30, 40 years ago, the question was, where does the female fit in with the man?
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, when I said who do you choose from, the pickings on here, these are real. Like, this isn't like something that was like totally made up just for like a joke. Like, this is honest to goodness. These are some of our choices that we have. So when you look at the man supposed to be the leader, he's supposed to be the leader in our life, right? He's supposed to be the leader in our families, but they're not bringing us leadership. What they're bringing us is more baggage than what we have. And then when they bring the baggage, they bring the law with it. They got felonies. They got so many misdemeanors that they can't get a job. And then they have been discouraged by the system for so long that now they don't even have the will to even try. You know what I mean? So by the time when you meet a guy, what's the first thing they say? Oh, you got your own place? What you say? What you say? Do I have my way? What you say? As a matter of fact, I live with my mother. Yeah. Because I don't even want to say that I have my own place. You know what I mean? Because that's what you're dealing with. And no, I'm not talking about...
And is that because they are, or we think that they're trying to leech off of us?
I can only go on, Chris. I can only go on my experience, right?
But
I can only go on my experience.
as far as, okay, we're talking about dating, but let's get to the point of meeting people.
Okay.
Back before you actually met people, either walking down the street or being at a function where everybody, was like-minded people were at.
You got to call it too.
Now, everything is online.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is like, okay, you got your dating apps and all
So
this
do
other
you
stuff.
guys do those?
Okay,
I attempted to do one, I think.
this is me. I've tried. I might send like, hey, how you doing or whatever. And I find myself, because it feels so impersonal, just trying to holler somebody from your phone.
Right.
You're not actually interacting.
Yeah.
I kind of don't follow up.
Yeah.
I'm from the old type time where
I think
you
we
actually
all are.
meet somebody in passing and
Yeah.
just talk. But no, now everything is online, and then even if you get them online, they can lie. You might get their representative, but you might not get the real
I
person.
don't know, people you walk past on the street be lying too.
Yeah.
No, but it's easier to lie online.
I think we have a
Pictures and everything,
Mm-hmm.
it's easier.
Yeah, it is. Then you'll get catfished. So we do have a caller. So caller, hello, how are you? Thank you for calling.
Hey ladies, how you doing?
Very
Good.
good.
Good. I'm one of those friends.
What's up, bro?
And I'm just, one of the things that I would say, and I'm not a single person. I've been married to my wife, so we've been together 22 years. Married going on 19 years. One of the things that I would say is that for ladies, is that too many women are lowering their standards. Let's talk about the men and the women are lowering their standards. So what happens is that they get in compromising positions, and then they forget who they are and what they want in their particular relationship. And as far as the men go, we have not done a good job of supporting our women, taking care of our women, and then understanding what being a man, being a father, being a husband is. Roland said something that's important, is that a lot of us want to support certain things, so as we grow up, we lose track on what we should be doing. Not that it's an excuse, but the reality is that we lose focus on what our main objective is. So I would say, don't settle, like the young lady said, she's waiting, she's not, that's a great thing. She wants to be out there, but she's not settling. I think too many women nowadays are settling and they ended up with the wrong person.
What you saying to that, Linda?
Yeah, definitely understanding and sticking to whatever your values and morals are. And sometimes we can definitely move away from that because we are looking for something. And that's both men and women, they'll move away from that. But I think it's important to come back and to reevaluate. Just like every day, you know, people have those affirmations that they say to themselves in order to build themselves up, in order to motivate themselves. I think in dating, you need the same thing. In relationships, you need the same thing. You need to continue to remind yourself, well, this is my standard. And I'm not going to allow anyone to break it down. And I always say, you know, in my book, I talk about the negotiables and the non-negotiables. And we have those non-negotiables and we have those negotiables.
Yeah.
And those non-negotiables, we shouldn't allow people to break them. But when we do, that's when we have to come back and reevaluate and say, you know what, I have allowed my non-negotiables to be broken, so now I need to step back and I need to reset the boundaries again.
All over again.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's important. Even again, and that spills over into communication. Being able to talk to either whomever you're dating or even talk to yourself. Like, hey, I gotta get a hold of myself, and I'm not going to be, I guess, this quote unquote desperate person to just have somebody.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I was listening to Will and Jada Pickett Smith on Oprah some years ago, and I just so happened to catch it. The replay was on YouTube, and they asked them what was the glue to keeping them together, and they said that they treat their marriage just like any other relationship, they treat their relationship as it's a team, right? And they have to have a goal. And what is that goal? So even in dating, like, what is that goal for Jada and Will? Will has all of his projects. Jada has hers. The kids have all of their interests. As a family unit, but right now as the couple, how are we going to keep this thing rolling? And what is the goal? So they always are keeping their eye on the goal.
Yes, and
So
you have to.
Right, and their goal was to get into producing and all of that stuff. So they came from acting to producing.
Right.
You see the growth? Their children are
Yes.
now,
Yes.
their legacy has now been made. You see what I'm saying? And the growth is there. And every time they set another goal to go to another level. So, it works.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I was talking to high school students today about relationships, and I talked about a goal. I said, when we go to college, our goal is to graduate.
That's it. Right.
Yes, we do
Not
a
to
lot of
just
things.
go.
Right, not to just go. We have the idea to graduate. And so that is the goal. So why don't we set these goals for our relationships? And then also, I think it starts with relationships, though. It starts with commitment.
Yeah.
And I always say people lack commitment.
Totally.
They lack commitment.
So do you make the commitment up front, or do you make the commitment as you get to know the person?
I always say that it's your it's your personal character. For instance, I can speak for myself. If I'm going to commit to something, I'm going to follow through. I'm going to make sure I show up on time. I'm going to make sure that I follow through. If I say I'm going to come, I'm going to come. If I can't come because something has happened, then I'm going to let you know. But I think commitment, if we look in people in the areas of their lives, we can see how they're committed, and that will tell us how they will be committed to a relationship. Even with loyalty, I can see and look at a person and see how they are loyal with everything else in their life, and it will tell me how they'll be loyal in a relationship. Time management. I can look at their lives and see how they manage time in a lot of areas, and that'll tell me, it'll tell me a lot about them. So when it comes to relationships, it's about that personality individual, the personality that the individual has, that they will bring these things to a relationship. Now, with a commitment, once you have got into that relationship and you decided that, okay, I'm going to be committed, that's the thing that you also need to focus on. If we have decided that we're going to be committed to this relationship, then we're saying no matter what happens, then we're going to stay in this relationship.
So that can be 2 months in, 3 months, 6 months, whatever.
Whenever they decide to be committed.
decide that they're to be committed.
Okay, so both of them have to be committed together, right? Can't be one committed.
Of course not. That's
course.
not.
I'm at Chris's face,
Yeah,
right?
that's not gonna
So,
work.
so Chris, what's up, man?
Can I be honest?
No.
Uh-oh.
He said
I'm gonna be
no.
honest anyway.
Don't be honest.
It's, I understand you want to have goals, you want to grow with this person, this, that, and the third, but it's starting to sound like a business contract. It is.
It is a
It's-
business
But
contract.
it is.
Or is a contract?
Yeah, it
It's
is.
definitely a
It's
Oh,
business.
it definitely is.
A business.
Oh,
What happened
relationship.
just falling in love with a dude with a
Yeah,
bus pass? Just because
Bus
the
pass.
way you like the way he smiled caught your
Well,
attention.
but-
What happened to that?
Once the commitment
It
is made, it's
happens.
business.
But listen, see now, see you can't compare the guy with the bus pass to the business
No, it's-
relationship
it's-
because you're right. If I'm walking down the street and he's walking down the street or however we meet or however I meet you, and if I meet you and you're on the bus and I don't have a problem with you being on the bus, I can still be committed to you. That has nothing to do with it. Nothing at all. It doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. What matters is what we're saying is where are you going?
Right. And I agree. Yes,
Yeah.
I can still fall in love with the dude with the bus
The
pass.
bus pass.
However,
Yeah.
love does not sustain a relationship
Right.
alone.
It doesn't.
You're gonna have to be able to
So-
tell me, well, where are we going? That's just like for my personal life. I want to achieve daily goals for my personal life, and I want to get better. So I'm expecting that in my relationship as well. But yes, I can still fall in love with that man, and we can still, the old, I guess, like you're saying, the old school way. Yes, but we still have to have a idea of where we're going.
Where
Even
we're going.
when we have kids,
I
we have to
totally
have
agree.
an idea of how we're going to raise those kids.
No, I totally agree that you once you become a family or in a committed relationship or whatever, like you should have some type of goal or whatever. But it seems like it's not fun to even date anymore. From what I'm getting, it's like, oh, does he have this? Can he do this? What is he going to do if this situation
I'm
happens?
like the
It's
funnest
more.
person.
Yeah, the last time I had fun dating, I was 12.
Yeah.
Because when you start to grow, when I got older, especially in college, I met sisters and they basically were telling me at that point, hey, Slim, playtime is over. You have to have an agenda. You got to have a sense
where are
of
you going in
purpose.
life?
And then we got to figure out whether or not we can make that mesh. And what I learned, and this is much to my demise, Sherry, is I make the commitment up front. And what happens, I meet someone and they have certain characteristics and it fits me, then I make the commitment to them up front.
Right.
And then I don't get involved with anybody else until either they decide not to commit to me or we decide that this isn't something that's going to work. But from the time I first start dealing with them, I'm committed to that one person until something else changes. That's what I feel.
And I think what you were saying
Oh, man,
in terms of you were saying it sounded like that is a business contract. It's not that, but we do want to set a foundation
Well-
to say that I expect to move somewhere in life, so I expect us to move somewhere together. Now, sure, we're still gonna go out. We want to paintball. We want to roller skate. We want to,
We're gonna do all
we
that.
want to, we
I
want
want to go to the
make
comedy
love.
shows.
Exactly.
I want to do all of that.
everything.
Yes.
Okay.
So we don't
I
take
want to
that
be able to
out
act
of,
crazy
Okay.
in front of you.
but there
and
has
talk
to be a
stupid.
foundation. There has to be a foundation.
But a foundation is not built overnight. It takes time.
Right, exactly.
It takes time. You know what I'm saying? And are y'all talking like after marriage or leading up to marriage
No,
with
this
all
is
of these?
before.
We're talking from the jump, bro.
It's
Yeah,
from
from
the
the
jump.
jump.
From the hi, how you doing? What's your number? Okay, a little bit after that, like after like the fifth, sixth date,
After the third or fourth dinner.
34th dinner?
Yeah.
third,
Maybe,
fourth date.
maybe
Oh,
sooner.
third or fourth.
Third or fourth dinner. Yeah,
I
maybe sooner.
I have a friend of mine. He's checking out the show. He wants me to say. He said, tell them I said when women meet a good man, they don't want to come under the authority of that man. They use their independence as a convenience. In some ways, it's true. In some ways, it's true.
What's a good man, though?
Everybody has their own definition, so you have to give
Chris,
your
Chris,
definition.
Chris, Chris, you took the bait. You take the bait. Linda's approach, she answers a question with a question, all right? So when she does that, this is what I want you to do, Chris. I want you to say, we ain't
Like,
going there.
hold on,
Right.
hold
So
on,
what
hold on.
happens is the question is not. She just Jason Whitlock, LeBron does, right? The question is not.
right.
Is not what is a good man. The question is what is an independent woman. So what he was saying, impetus was on the woman's independence.
Yes.
You flipped it to
No, more so on the man's
you
authority.
flipped
And,
it.
you know, as a woman,
Not
I
the man's
have
authority.
I have no problem with submitting.
I don't
you know,
either.
quote unquote,
Yeah.
submitting to a man
I don't
at
have a
all.
problem with it at all.
I can fall in line. I can get information.
turn
you
your
know?
radio speaker down and put your
Yeah.
lips on
But it's I need to know where are
your
you
mouth
going?
on
Where
your
are you
phone.
where are you trying to take me?
So you're not going to just
Not
blindly-
blindly, no.
But
Pull it up
if you
again.
but if you dealt with this man for enough time, then you should
You should know,
Yeah,
right?
no.
right.
Call.
You should know where he's taking you.
We have a caller?
Right.
Yes, caller, please turn your radio down or turn your laptop down because we can hear it and we
Yeah.
get feedback. And secondly, do me a favor and make sure your mouth is on the phone, not the speaker phone. Caller, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. Sherry, take over.
Hey, caller. How are you?
Hey,
So what's your name and where you calling from?
Carla, and I'm in Maryland.
Okay.
Hey,
Hi,
Carla.
Carla in
Hi,
Maryland.
Carla in Maryland.
It's like an AA meeting.
Is this Miss Carla?
Not the hell.
Oh, hey. Okay, so what's your comment?
I wanted to speak to the comments that the gentleman who gave a comment in about women not wanting to come under the authority of a man when they meet them.
Okay.
An independent woman should not come under the authority of a man unless he's convicting her.
Right.
She is independent until that limit is set.
Uh-huh.
And without that, she doesn't, if she comes under his authority, there's room for abuse. There's no commitment.
Okay. I got you.
I just wanted to respond to that.
I totally agree. And when I've talked about this several times on the show about the process of order in life. And if you listen to either Pastor Jenkins, that's where I go. And if you
John
listen
K.
to
Jenkins.
John K. Jenkins, and then I have a good
Yeah,
friend
he's
of
running
mine.
all our houses right now.
I have a good friend of mine who's she's a preacher in California. Her name is Sharon Harper. I bought in her book one time. She talks about the importance of order and the importance of submission. So no, I as an independent woman, which I am, everything that I've gotten on my own, with me, just me, all by myself. So yes, I am a very independent woman, but I also know the process of order in the family. I understand the process, what the role the male plays. But like Miss Carla says, I think where I've messed up is I've given men authority that were not committed.
Well, what,
And there's a difference. And you can't come to a woman who's independent and tell me that you want to be my man and then want to dominate everything in my life and run all over me, and because you want to be the man. It's not about the air quotes, right? It's about actually showing improvement. So when you want to commit to a woman, and you want, especially an independent woman, one, you have to be time enough and ready, right? Because I'm time enough and ready. But I'm also going to be submissive to you if you show me that you can be that leader and take upon making me the one. You often hear men say, she wasn't the one. She wasn't, I played the role of the one, but wasn't the one.
but everybody's the one is a different the.
So,
Right.
but
Right, I
a
mean,
man
yeah.
has to, but
And you're the one until
you the
we
one
break up.
until, right.
Not
That's
until-
not,
But also independence.
yeah.
How do you define black women's independence, especially black women? Because the Korean women aren't independent. You
Not
look
at
at
all.
other cultures; they're
Not at
not
all.
independent.
Right.
But they also don't have some of the psychosocial issues that we're facing and dealing with, because we do have independence from one another. So then the question becomes: I let Linda finish the reason. So the question becomes: what are independent from? So in my observation, and you correct me where I'm wrong, are independent women independent from a job or career? Are they independent from a job or career?
I think it's more than that.
Okay, are they independent from the church? Are they independent from their kids? So when we say independent black women, Miss Carla, we're really talking about independent from a man.
Yeah.
That's what makes them independent. They're not independent.
From
They are
anything
not
else.
independent from anything else.
Or pretty much, they're independent from what a man's supposed to do as far as
okay.
paying the rent.
I told you earlier,
bringing-
ADT, does the protection. Pastor Jenkins does the prophesying, right? Let's see, it's four P's that they talked about the
You
other
said
day.
it yesterday and the other day.
You got it? It's prophesying. The man is supposed to be the prophet,
The priest.
the prophet, the priest, the protector, and the provider.
Right.
Right. So independent women provide for themselves.
Right.
And if they have that habit by 23, it's real hard to break it.
Exactly.
And then prophet, you get that from Pastor Jenkins. So I've been in situations where I've had to argue with a female in my own home about whether Pastor Jenkins had more authority in my house than me, right? And understand, this is more prevalent than you know. Michael Baisden can say something, or Steve Harvey can, oh my God. Steve, right? Brother? Now mind you,
Don't say that.
and if Sherry wants to go there, we can go there. But
And that's-
Steve Harvey said some stuff and women went ballistic. Oprah said some stuff and women go ballistic. And me and Chris are looking at each other like, what in the world? And so understand. So now you're getting profits. You're getting a lot of black women are getting a profit from their priesting from the pastor, their profit from what they're watching on TV, their protection from ADT and their own pistols now.
Yep.
And a lot of women are walking around with pit bulls, right?
You know why?
Instead of us.
You know
But they
why
don't-
though? Because things have been done out of order.
Okay.
You
Yeah, everything is
understand?
out of order.
So when things are done out of order, I became a mother before I became a wife. So when I became a mother before I became a wife, my automatic instinct was to kick in to be the nurturer, provider, everything.
That I had to
You
be.
see what I'm
And
saying?
that's you, sweet.
So when you go out of order, and that's anybody. That's anybody.
No, what I'm saying
and,
is-
and especially women. When women go out of order, and they become mothers before, and that's even with the mothers and sons. When a woman